Capevin Holdings is an investment holding company that holds as its sole asset an indirect investment in Distell. Capevin was previously known as KWV. It has a market cap of 6.3 billion rand, price to earnings ratio of 20.8 and a dividend yield of 2.6. So this is almost like the property environment, a little incestuous, if I can use that terminology.
Yeah, but remember what it's ended up after some reorganization is this is the entity that owns that 58% stake in Distell. So what's the point of owning it? Yes, well, it gives you perhaps a discounted entry point into that other underlying asset. I think Chris was saying that it has in fact been trading at a bit of a discount.
You're not overly enthusiastic about investment holding companies in the first place, are you, Paul?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's a bit of a long-term value trap. The idea that it must necessarily close that discount, that does not always seem true. And often there are additional costs and other liquidity and visibility issues that come along the way.
Chris, you're agreeing there with him?
Yeah, unfortunately these investment holding companies are a bit of a legacy of the old South Africa, and I don't mean that in any sort of pejorative way, although it might sound like that, but yeah, it's one of these things where you have to do a continuous exercise looking at what the current share price is and what the underlying value would be if you were to, as Paul said, get this thing to all of a sudden one day just be unbundled. So I mean, I did the exercises before I came here. I think I get a figure of around about £8.66 for Capevin as against a current share price of about £7.15. It's about a 20-21% discount, and it's been around that figure for quite some time. So the question is, what would be the catalyst that would unlock the value for you? And it's not abundantly clear. Well,
Chris, they're speaking about unbundling. What about corporate action when it comes to the smaller players? Paul?
Yeah, theoretically, it's possible that SAB Miller might decide they want to focus on businesses they own and control themselves, in which case they may sell that stake to Remgro, and Remgro could take this whole thing and wrap it up and stick it inside of their food entity or something. I don't know, I suppose that is remotely conceivable. And if that were the case,
it's remotely conceivable, not just a pie in the sky idea.
And if that was the case, perhaps minorities holding stakes in either Distell or in Capevin could be offered some sort of a premium to get out. But we've seen both of these groups hold these stakes for a long, long time because they're profitable, they're rising in value, they spit out dividends. So those big top-end groups are more than likely just happy to sit there, have their chaps on the board to make sure things are running smoothly and just keep doing business as usual.
Chris, hot or not on Capevin?
Look, because Distell is hot, I have to say this one's hot, and there's the added attraction of the fact that there's a bit of a discount to NAV, so yes, it's a hot stock.
Paul?
Yeah, that's well argued, hot for me too.